Today we're talking about Lamborghini, 52 facts about the brand that turned tractors, anger, V12 engines, sharp design, and pure Italian ego into one of the loudest car legends on Earth. 1. Lamborghini started because one rich tractor guy got annoyed. Ferruccio Lamborghini was not some random dreamer staring at posters. He was already successful building tractors after World War II. Then he bought Ferraris, complained about the clutch, argued with Enzo Ferrari, and basically said, "Fine, I'll build my own car." Most people lose an argument and go home. Ferruccio lost an argument and created Lamborghini. 2. Before supercars, Lamborghini was literally a tractor company. So, the brand that now makes cars people rev outside hotels at midnight started with machines used on farms. That's the funniest origin story in the supercar world. One side, dirt, fields, farming. Other side, Aventador doors going up in Monaco. Same family tree. 3. Ferruccio Lamborghini was a Taurus, and he was obsessed with bulls. That is why the logo is a raging bull and why so many Lamborghini names come from bullfighting. It was not random branding. The man looked at a bull and thought, "Yes, that is exactly the energy I want rich people to crash into curbs with." 4. The Lamborghini Miura is often called one of the first true supercars. Mid-engine layout, beautiful body. V12 behind the seats, it looked like the future arrived early and was slightly dangerous before the Miura. Sports cars were fast. After the Miura, they had to be dramatic. 5. The Miura was developed almost secretly by young Lamborghini engineers. Ferruccio was not fully convinced at first because he wanted comfortable grand tours, not a wild mid-engine monster. Imagine your employees quietly creating one of the most important cars in history because they basically thought, "Boss doesn't get it yet." 6. The Miura's eyelashes are real design madness. Early Miuras had these black trim pieces around the headlights that looked like eyelashes. A V12 supercar with eyeliner, somehow it worked. Only Italians could put makeup on a machine and make it more legendary. Before we continue, if you enjoy videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of time, research, editing, and money to make, and your support really helps us keep going. Thank you. 7. The Countach did not just change Lamborghini. It changed what people thought an exotic car should look like. It was low, sharp, ridiculous, almost impossible to ignore. The Countach looked like it was designed by someone who saw a normal car and took it personally. 8. The word Countach is not the name of a bull. It comes from a Piedmontese expression of shock or amazement. Basically, someone saw the design and reacted with the Italian version of "What the hell is that?" Lamborghini heard it and said, "Perfect. Put it on the car." 9. Scissor doors became a Lamborghini signature because of the Countach. Today people see doors going up and instantly think Lambo. The funny part is, the doors were not just for drama. The car was so wide and visibility was so terrible that opening normal doors would have been annoying. So yes, one of the most iconic flexes in car history was partly born because the car was inconvenient. 10. Driving a Countach was not glamorous in the way posters made it look. It was hot, cramped, loud, heavy, hard to see out of, and difficult to park. It was less luxury spaceship and more beautiful punishment with a V12, but that is why people love it. The Countach did not care if you were comfortable. It cared if you looked insane. 11. Lamborghini made a military-style SUV long before the Urus. It was called the LM002 and people called it the Rambo Lambo. It had a V12, huge tires, and the personality of a tank that discovered nightclub parking. 12. The LM002 is one of the funniest vehicles Lamborghini ever built. It looks like someone asked, "What if we made a desert truck but gave it the soul of a supercar and the fuel economy of a small war?" Completely unnecessary, completely unforgettable. 13. The Diablo had one job: replace the Countach without looking weak. That is a horrible job. Replacing a poster legend is like remaking a classic movie. Everyone is ready to hate you. But the Diablo pulled it off by being wide, fast, aggressive, and absurdly 90s. 14. The Diablo was the first Lamborghini production car to go over 200 miles per hour. That was a serious number for its time. Today people throw around crazy speeds like phone specs. But back then, 200 miles per hour felt like entering the please update your will category. 15. The Diablo's name comes from a fighting bull. Not from the devil directly, but come on, Lamborghini knew exactly what people would think. You do not name a sharp Italian supercar Diablo by accident and then act innocent. 16. Lamborghini was not always financially stable. The brand changed owners multiple times. It had drama, debt, uncertainty, and moments where the legend looked stronger than the business behind it. Lamborghini looked rich even when the company was fighting for survival. Very Italian. 17. Chrysler once owned Lamborghini. Yes, the same Chrysler universe that gave the world minivans also owned the company making V12 Italian chaos. This sounds fake, but it happened. Somewhere in corporate history, a spreadsheet tried to understand a Countach. 18. Audi took control of Lamborghini in 1998. And that changed everything. Before Audi, Lamborghini had wild character but inconsistent quality. After Audi, the cars became more reliable, better built, more usable, and still dramatic enough to scare pedestrians. Basically, Germany came in and made the Italian madness work on schedule. 19. The Murcielago was the first major Lamborghini of the Audi era. It still had the huge V12 scissor doors and aggressive look, but underneath it felt more modern and solid. Lamborghini did not become boring. It became dangerous with better paperwork. 20. Murcielago means bat in Spanish, but the name also comes from a famous fighting bull. Lamborghini naming is like a dramatic family tree of animals that either fought, survived, or sounded cool enough to scare rich people. 21. The Gallardo became one of Lamborghini's most important cars because it brought the brand to more buyers. Not cheap, obviously. Nothing with a Lamborghini badge is cheap unless you are comparing it to a private island. But compared with the V12 models, the Gallardo made Lamborghini feel more reachable. 22. The Gallardo used a V10 instead of the traditional big V12. For some purists, that could have sounded like a downgrade. Then the car sold extremely well and basically told everyone, relax. Smaller engine, still loud enough to ruin your neighbor's morning. 23. The Lamborghini Huracan replaced the Gallardo and made the formula cleaner, sharper, and more modern. V10, all-wheel drive versions, brutal sound. Daily usability if your definition of daily includes attracting every phone camera in a 3-block radius. 24. The Huracan name also comes from a fighting bull, but it sounds like hurricane, which is perfect because the car has the subtlety of weather damage. You do not arrive in a Huracan. You interrupt the street. 25. The Aventador looked like Lamborghini had finally become a spaceship company. Sharp edges, huge vents, scissor doors, V1 to engine, fighter jet energy. It was the kind of car that makes children point, adults stare, and accountants quietly leave the room. 26. The Aventador's single-clutch automated gearbox was famously aggressive, smooth, not always dramatic. Absolutely, gear changes could feel like the car just punched the next gear into existence. Some people complained, others said that's the point. 27. The Aventador was not trying to be polite. It was wide, loud, hard to ignore, and completely theatrical. Some supercars want to be elegant. The Aventador wanted to look like it escaped from a billionaire's dream after too much energy drink. 28. The Aventador Ultime was basically the goodbye party for Lamborghini's pure naturally aspirated V12 era before hybridization took over. That matters because Lamborghini's V12 is not just an engine. It is part of the brand's religion. When that era ends, car people do not just nod. They mourn loudly. 29. The Revuelto is Lamborghini entering the hybrid era without pretending to become sensible. It has a V12 plus electric motors. This is not saving the planet quietly. This is Lamborghini saying, fine, we'll go hybrid. But we're bringing the thunder with us. 30. Lamborghini's first hybrid production car was the Cheyenne, and instead of using a normal battery setup, it used a supercapacitor system. Because of course Lamborghini could not just make a hybrid. It had to make it sound like something Tony Stark would explain too quickly. 31. The Cheyenne looks like a limited edition alien blade. The design has hints of Countach, but also futuristic lighting, sharp surfaces, and the general vibe of a car that does not want to be parked next to normal objects. 32. The Lamborghini Veneno was created for the brand's 50th anniversary, and it looked like a race car designed by a villain. It was extremely limited, extremely expensive, and extremely hard to describe without using words like weapon, alien, and why is it legal. 33. The Veneno's design was so extreme that even supercar fans argued about it. Some called it incredible, some called it ugly. That is very Lamborghini. If everyone calmly agrees your car is tasteful, you probably did not go far enough. 34. The Reventon was inspired by fighter jets, and you can tell. It looked like a stealth aircraft decided to become a road car. Even the instrument display had that military, aircraft-style energy, subtle. Never. That word is illegal at Lamborghini. 35. The Sesto Elemento was all about carbon fiber and lightness. The name means sixth element, referring to carbon. It looked raw, stripped down, and brutal. Basically, Lamborghini took away comfort and added more violence. 36. The Egoista concept is one of the most Lamborghini things ever made. One seat. Fighter jet cockpit, ridiculous design. The name literally means selfish. Most car companies would be embarrassed to call a car that. Lamborghini said it proudly. 37. The Terzo Millennio concept looked like Lamborghini trying to imagine an electric future without losing its mind. Electric supercars can sound risky for a brand built on engine noise, so Lamborghini made the concept look like pure aggression first. Smart move. If it looks insane enough, people panic less about the missing engine roar. 38. Lamborghini has always been obsessed with making cars look dramatic from a distance. Some brands reward close inspection. Lamborghini rewards seeing it from across the street and immediately stopping mid-sentence. The shape has to shout before the engine even starts. 39. The Urus changed Lamborghini's business completely. Supercar purists complained, of course. They always complain, but the SUV brought in huge sales and turned Lamborghini from a rare exotic brand into something far more profitable. 40. The Urus is funny because it is both very Lamborghini and very not Lamborghini. It has the badge, the angles, the speed, the noise, the drama. But it also has space, comfort, and doors that normal humans can use. A Lamborghini you can take to school pickup. Absurd but effective. 41. Some people hated the idea of a Lamborghini SUV until they saw how many rich people wanted one. That is the brutal truth. Enthusiasts debate purity, customers buy practicality with a badge. Lamborghini understood that a lot of people wanted the fantasy, but with a trunk. 42. Lamborghini interiors often look like cockpits on purpose. Flip-up switches, sharp lines, aggressive shapes, start buttons that feel like launching a missile. Starting a Lamborghini is not supposed to feel like turning on a washing machine. It is supposed to feel like you just made a questionable life decision. 43. The Aventador start button under a red cover is pure theater. You lift the cover, press the button, and the engine wakes up like it has been personally insulted. Completely unnecessary. Completely perfect. 44. Lamborghini engines are part of the drama, but the sound is half the product. People do not just buy acceleration. They buy the scream, the idle, the tunnel run, the way strangers turn around before they even see the car. Sound is marketing that comes out of the exhaust. 45. The Lamborghini factory in Sant'Agata Bolognese is still a huge part of the brand identity. Ferrari has Maranello. Lamborghini has Sant'Agata. It sounds less like a factory and more like a place where loud machines are blessed by Italian chaos before being shipped to Dubai. 46. Lamborghini and Ferrari are forever linked because of that origin story. Whether every detail of the famous argument is perfect or not, the myth is too good to die. Angry tractor millionaire complains to Ferrari, gets dismissed, builds rival supercar company. That is not history. That is screenplay material. 47. Lamborghini was never trying to be Ferrari with a different badge. Ferrari came from racing. Lamborghini came from the road. Ferruccio did not want to beat Ferrari on the racetrack at first. He wanted to build a better grand touring car for rich people who were tired of suffering in their expensive toys. 48. That is why early Lamborghini cars like the 350 GT were elegant and refined compared with the later madness. Before the Countach posters and scissor door chaos, Lamborghini was trying to be smooth, fast, luxurious, and mature. Then the brand discovered sharp angles and never fully recovered. 49. Lamborghini avoided Formula One as a factory team for most of its history. Ferrari built its identity around racing. Lamborghini built its identity around road drama. That difference matters. Ferrari wants trophies. Lamborghini wants a teenager to put the poster on the wall and emotionally never recover. 50. Some Lamborghinis are incredibly hard to live with, and that is part of the charm. Bad visibility, wide bodies, expensive maintenance, difficult parking, loud cabins, none of that destroys the fantasy. It almost adds to it. A Lamborghini should feel a little unreasonable. If it feels too normal, something went wrong. 51. The Lamborghini badge works because it promises excess. Not elegance first, not restraint, excess. More angles, more sound, more vents, more attention. More look at me. Some people hate that. Those people were never the target customer. 52. Lamborghini is the brand that turned a grudge into an empire. A tractor builder got annoyed, challenged the kings of Italian sports cars, and created a company that now sells some of the most recognizable machines in the world. Ferrari is tradition. Porsche is precision. Rolls-Royce is luxury. Lamborghini is the moment someone rich says, "I want everyone to know I arrived." That was 52 facts about Lamborghini. If you want the next one, hit like, subscribe, and we'll go even deeper into another car legend because the car world is full of brands that are basically drama, money, engineering, and ego wearing metal bodies.